Okay, welcome into my channel, Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon or Cole or Sharon or Cole, however you want to refer to me, no big deal, whatever. I am here on day 42 on February 11th, 2023 for my one video each day, 365 days campaign seeking donors, big and tall, short and tall, or big and small, what have you, deep pockets, or even people who are willing to donate $5 in my quest for something that can seem ridiculous unless you look at the amounts, the monies paid out to people who experience extreme pain and suffering, mental anguish, death threats, whistleblower-like harassment, street theater used against them, skits, all kinds of stuff. I could go on for the next 30 years trying to explain everything that happened. So I think that my case is worth that and more. And if I had the right lawyer, and if there was a way to prove a source, which is the major problem, we have to prove a source. And whoever created this wreckage is telling people what to do from way up there, because so many people participated either consciously or unconsciously, and someone's responsible. It's as if the CIA came in, decided to set up, so that's what it felt like, or the movie industry, or someone who has some little bit of money. It was like a movie, came in, scared me in my apartment through an entire series of situations, environments, events to make me believe that I'd be murdered. I thought it was the last night of my life. My life changed on a dime. It's the whole thing. And if that weren't enough, the games commenced afterwards. So most people who I reached out to and who I had met along the way over the course of a couple of years leading up to 2011 seemed to participate in a negative way. I don't know what it is. No one's talking, and there are people who are keeping secrets big time. But most importantly, I wanted to talk today about something that I talked about in a video last night that I made. And if you need just a really quick piece of evidence to sort of make you become a believer of my story, I think I'm pretty sincere and easy to believe. But anyway, here's one piece of evidence that makes it really easy. When I tried to reach out to my mom, and I reached out the next day. I didn't call her the night that everything happened because it was during the witching hour, the darkest hour of the night. And innately, I knew it. Don't even try to call. They're old. My mom and aunt were living together in Jacksonville, Florida. My aunt's husband had passed away. And my mom had moved in with my aunt to share resources in their older age. So I didn't want to startle these people. It was a quick thing of I'm not even going to try to call them. So I called my sister, and then she convinced me to finally call the police to see if they came out, if they would at least look around or do something, which they didn't do much. So, and I was trembling and shaking. I was convulsing in fear. So anyway, when I did try to reach out to my mom, this is what I got. Doo-doo-doo, we're sorry. The phone number you're trying to reach has been disconnected. Doo-doo-doo, we're sorry. And that fed the fear big time. I was so scared, I actually really pressured and almost forced my sister to come up here from Delaware. I drove down there with a zip car, picked her up, brought her back. And this would never happen in real life. Like, normally I don't impose upon people. I wouldn't even know how to force anyone in my family to do anything. But when you're in a crisis and a severe situation, you do reach out to people. There are times I've had situations where I wished I could help someone. My sister broke her ankle, and I had $0 to go help her. Otherwise, I would have. But this was part of my experience. I was in a homeless situation, and she was wailing and screaming in pain, needing help because she was walking to a special social services office and broke her ankle along the way, and had from that walk along the street, close to a highway and everything, called myself and my mom. But anyway, just wanted to say that made me really upset because I didn't know what to tell my sister because I hadn't told anyone that I was actually in a homeless situation. And it was because of this stuff. I'm not the problem. Trust me. I'm cleaner than everyone. You're looking at someone who's a raw, vegan, foodie, green juicer. You don't get cleaner than this. I'm in the top 5 of clean people in the entire United States. No prescription pills, nothing. The most would be over-the-counter acetaminophen if I have a major migraine. Even that's a push because I don't like putting anything in this body that doesn't belong there. So I was forced into a very bad situation. I sometimes say, I think someone higher up came along and said, we will have to pull her underground out of the apartment because it's too dangerous at this point. That's 7 years later. And we'll have her pop up over here. Then we'll send her on down to Florida and see what changes. They had to almost secretly, through underground homelessness, living in a van, this whole thing, a U-Haul van that technically wound up being out there. Technically, it got towed, and it was really U-Haul's van at that point. I didn't have any more money to keep trying to pay. I had a credit card that I kept trying to charge it on. So anyway, long story short, when I tried to reach my mom, that's what I got. Doo-doo-doo. We're sorry. The number you're trying to reach has been disconnected. I was with my sister because I dragged her up here, which is, I would have never done that. I would have never demanded that a family member come help me. I was independent my whole life. And I was used to people not helping. I'm used to sort of having to do everything myself. I'm a do-it-yourselfer all the way. Hence YouTube. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to drag people into my woman cave or man cave and get them to do everything for me. That's a different personality. I don't actually love those personalities, and I wouldn't want to be like that. I don't know how to take other people's husbands or other people's partners or wives and get what I want, because I don't want the bad karma, regardless of how it seems that people get together. And everybody's got a story, but in the end, people suffer. In my case, I try to do as little suffering as possible because I refuse to take over or take away from other people. I'm not going to storm into somebody's life. I'm not going to take from them. I'm not going to steal from them. I'm not going to overpower them. That is rape. Even divorce is a form of rape in some people's eyes. Even if people don't necessarily get along any longer or it's too hard to be together, there's a form of rape going on when there's a third party involved. So anyway, that's the evidence. I try to reach my mom, so that made me flip out even more. My sister was there. She happened to have a cousin's phone number easily at hand. I did not, because whenever I reached out to the one cousin who seemed more likely by age, never available. So I was like, I guess these people, he and his family, whatever, I guess they're over here and they don't really want people in their lives. So it was a form of rejection a little bit, but I was like, well, I'm either chopped liver and I'm not good enough, or they have their own little lives and they don't want to have to talk to anyone. What can I say? You can't call on people like that for help, even if they have the resources. So anyway, got the phone number to my aunt's cell phone via a cousin, via my sister. So my aunt had her cell phone on because the phone lines were down at their house. I call, she hands the phone to my mom, and turns out the phone company was just coming out because the lines had been, she just thought there was something wrong, like meaning normal stuff, like, well, we went out back and somehow the line was all broken and stuff. She just thought it was innocently, like a raccoon came by. I know differently. Immediately, someone cut the phone lines. Do you want more proof? There's a lot more where that came from. But someone cut the phone lines, and they did so in a right-wing state. Right-wing state. If that could ever be proven, and a lot of people would say, well, probably can't, unless people can hear from a distance, unless people have seeming superpowers and knew what was going on before. Some people know things are being planned in advance, and they want to see how far people are going to go. Florida is a right-wing state. Do you really want to break a law and join in a major conspiracy in a right-wing state? because the laws are pretty tough there. And they're not as tolerant. I am way liberal. I would want to know what it is, what the reason was, what's going on. Just pay me. That's it. I don't even care what people are doing with their lives any longer. Anyway, that's it. I think that's a lot of proof. We're sorry. The phone number you're trying to reach has been disconnected. So anyway, I knew immediately one more thing to add to the setup. One more. It just kept adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on, so much that I was trapped and oppressed way down here under some rapist's thumb. And people who see this are like, well, no one down here on the street level, if you make less than 6 figures, you aren't a major guilty party. If you make more than 6 figures, you could be. All right. That's about it. I already know that people down here are told what to do and are puppeted and are heavily influenced, or they want to join a gang, or they want to whatever. We all believe things because of someone up there. The power of myth, as Joseph Campbell would write about. We all believe in something because it's what makes us tick, what keeps us going. Or you have actual experiences that are severe and extreme. I just know I want money. I don't really believe in much, but I do know people are told what to do. And I do know I've actually had stuff come through my throat. And I do know the scene in Beetlejuice is real. Day-o, daylight come and we wanna go home. Those people didn't even have to act. Hollywood did it for them. And they know they can't act as well on a regular stage in front of people. They have to be on a set where Hollywood is helping. Those are superpowers. Okay, so have a good day. Thank you so much. Go Eagles. Hopefully we win. I care in as much that, that's exciting. But whatever started here in 2011 is a major deal. The phone lines were cut on purpose. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.